Hi kids, welcome to the next math video for Module 6, Lesson 9, homework. And this objective is found at the bottom of the page right here. Generate two number patterns from given rules, plot the points, and analyze the patterns. So fun stuff today. Let's get started. So we're going to complete the table for the given rules, and we're making lines. And so again, what you're going to do is look at the number lines, the x and y axes, label it x, y. And we're going to, if you would like, label a few points here. We can see we're counting by ones because skip 5 between 0 and 5. If the 5 is on the fifth line, then they're counting by ones. So let's go ahead and start calculating with our rule for line A. The rule is y is 1 less than x. Now, if x equals y, we've talked about this long enough that you should know if x equals y, you're going to have a line that goes right straight through, bisecting your graph into two equal pieces. So if y is 1 less than x, then what if I did a formula for this? So if y is 1 less, then I have to take my x, subtract 1 in order to get y. So I like to make my little formula there and then have that handy so that I can just plug in the values. So if x is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. Write your ordered pair. If x is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. Write your ordered pair. If x is 9, 9 minus 1 is 8. Write the ordered pair. And 16. And 15. And write your ordered pair. Okay? So we have to actually complete the table and make the line. We're going to draw it and don't want to get too far ahead, so don't jump ahead until this line is drawn. We have x for 1 and y for 0. So if x is 1, you go down x street one spot and you do not go up y street at all. So you're going to plot this point right on the x-axis. Then we have 4, 3. So 4 for x and 1, 2, 3 for y. Then we have 9, 8. And again, you don't have to label every single thing. You should be able to use these other whole numbers as a reference point. This is going to be 9, so I have 9, and I'm going to go up, 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 up. Following with your left hand, I need to go here, trace it over to here, make sure this is actually on the 8, and you should be fine. And finally, 16, 15. That's out over here. Go up, and we're going to go quite a ways because you can see the trajectory of my dots. You want to make a line. If your dots are not in a line, you went wrong somewhere. It's okay. Everybody goes wrong at some point. Everyone makes mistakes, so yes, they do. And then I will sing the mistake song, which may be a mistake in itself. Okay, this is line A. Label it line A. Okay. Noticing again that if x was equal to y, it would bisect your graph right exactly here. The rule was y is 1 less. That's very curious. So it's actually just one little spot lower than that middle bisector. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes. Here is line B with the rule y is 5 less than x. So you have your x value, and we're going to have 5 less than that to get y. Okay, so if x is 5, you're going to take 5 away to get what? 0. Write your ordered pair. Next one, if x is 8, remember this is a variable. Okay, we're just popping in, we're substituting in the number for the variable. 8 is now x, 8 minus 5 is 3. Write your ordered pair. 14 minus 5 is 9. Write your ordered pair. 20 minus 5, 15. 20, 15. Okay, don't do anything else until you have plotted your points and made your line. X is 5, Y is 0. Move down X street to 5, but Y is 0. We do not go up Y street at all. 8 and 3. 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3. Double check on the left. 14 and 9. Again, use your reference points. 14, and then I need to go up, 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 past the 8 to the 9. Double check if you go back on the 10, okay? Because this one has to be a few below that one. We'll check that in a moment. 20, 15. 20 is all the way out at the end, okay? I'm going to go up until I'm at this 15th point. You could count each one if you wanted to, but sometimes kids will still get off track. Lay down that ruler. Hold it really steady. Hold it firm. Draw your line. Label it B. Okay, we constructed each line on the coordinate plane. We're going to compare and contrast these lines. Let's talk about it. Okay, scooch my chair, make myself comfortable. Straighten you guys out. Okay, compare and contrast these lines. Well, first of all, what do you notice? They are what? Parallel. Okay, now also, if you look at the Y value on line B, okay, it is less than the Y value for A. Now, the Y value for A was already 1 less than X, and this is 5 less than X. So if X was in the middle, and this is 1 less, and this is 5 less, the difference here is 4. So you can consistently put points on these two lines that are going to be 4 units apart, okay? So it's really learning. What you're doing right here is you're learning about the relationship between X and Y and where your lines would go on the graph. Also notice that these are both subtraction. So when you subtract, you're going to be drawing lines that are below the midpoint. Okay? So they're parallel. Let's add that little ditty about the Y value. The Y value on line B is, and let's think about this big picture, it's 4 less than A, which was already 1 less than X was. Okay, so if you talk about having an X equals Y for that middle bisector, and you take 1 away, A is 1 below the midpoint. So therefore, B is 5 below the midpoint because it's X minus 5, and then it's 4 below what A was. So it's just putting the math together. It should make mathematical sense that these will be in the proper numeric space because it's just a bunch of number lines, okay? Based on the patterns you see, predict what line C, whose rule is Y is 7 less than X, sorry you can't see it, but there it is, would look like. Draw your prediction on the plane above. Okay, think about it again. If Y is 1 less than X, and I get 1 down, Y is 5 less than X, and from the midpoint, you go 5 down. What would the rule? Y is 7 less than X. Where would that be? Okay. If this is the midpoint, and this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. 7 would be down lower, below line B, by 2 places, because mathematically it's going to be exactly where the rule says it is, 7 less than the midpoint. Okay, so draw your prediction on the plane above. If I go from what I know is 5 less, then I can go down 2, because now I'm at minus 7, and down 2, because now I'm at minus 7. So down 2, down 2, down 2. Now I have 3 points in a line, and I can draw my prediction on the line above. Okay, and this is line C. And so yours should look just like that. If it doesn't quite match that, check your points. Make sure that all 3 lines are parallel and that they're all kind of shooting up this way at about that angle. It shouldn't be flatter. It shouldn't be up higher than the midpoint. It should be below. So, did that. Turn the page. Nothing really to write down here for C, so go ahead and turn the page. Okay. Straighten you out again. Complete the table for the given rules. We're going to make line E. Oh, so now we're going to be thinking about multiplying. Okay, rule is y is 3 times as much as x. So whatever x is, y is 3 times that. So have your formula, x times 3 to get y. Start here, and then you can apply the formula. Now, be careful, you're not adding, you're multiplying. So if I have 0 times 3, what do I get? You don't get 3, you get 0. Put your ordered pair. Now plug in the 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Write your ordered pair. 4 times 3 is what? 12. Write your ordered pair. 6 times 3 is what? 18. Write that ordered pair. Okay, so finish all of your points with the proper format. Look at your number line. We're counting by ones again, and we need to create this line. 0, 0 is your first point, right at the origin. 1, 3, you can label a little bit. 1, 2, 3 if you'd like. It does help. 1, 3 would be right here. Notice how that's really shooting up. 4, 12. 4 is here. Go up. I'm going way up. 10, 11, 12. Double check. Label it. And if this is kind of poking through from the back side, this thin paper, make sure that you don't have anything distracting you from making a straight line. Got our 412, and then we have 618. Here's 6. We're going to go up, up, up. 15 is here. 16, 17, 18. Put that point. Draw the line from your outermost point, right at that corner, all the way down through the origin. Okay, label your line. This is line E. Okay, success. Let's do another one, line F. Now, if this is multiplication, we're going to take a look at a third as much. So a couple different ways you can go about this. Students will think about it differently. You could literally take 1/3 of x, or x times 1/3 equals y. That's kind of smashing in there. Sorry about that. But when students multiply x times 1, they realize that they're just going to have x that's divided by 3. So sometimes they'll do this, or they'll do x divided by 3 equals y. They're all really the same. Isn't that funny? They're all the same. Okay, so you can multiply by 1/3, or you can divide by 3. But we're going to be using this formula to get our answer. Now, what do I do when I have 0? Well, that would be irrational if we had anything else other than 0, 0. So 1/3 as much as 0 is 0. And so then if I have x equals 3, whichever way you want to look at it, you can plug it into any of these formulas here. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, write your ordered pair. Take 9. 9 divided by 3. We're here. 9 divided by 3 is what? That's right, 3. So write your ordered pair. 15 divided by 3 is what? That's right. You guys are getting so smart. Okay, so those are your ordered pairs. This is line F. We're going to plot the points. The point for this one is already made. You don't have to do another one right on top of it. It would just be, you probably put a hole in your paper. So let's not do that. 1, 2, 3. Here's 3. And 3, 1. This one is here. We're on the lower end. Then we have 9, 3. Here's 9. 1, 2, 3. And 15, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice I just counted it up. Check back. Look at the points in your line. Grab that straight edge and connect. Label. This is line F. And look at how pretty. Look at how pretty this is. Okay? We've got if again through the middle x was equal to y, you would have a line that runs straight down the middle, line of symmetry, splitting this into two equal pieces. When you multiply by 3, you get a very steep line that goes up at this trajectory. When you divide by 3, you get the exact same difference. Looking at this outer edge, the exact same difference from the end, because we're using 3. We're multiplying by 3 here. We're dividing by 3 here. So it's symmetrical. I hope you notice that. Okay? Comparing and contrasting these lines. Well, first of all, the first thing that I said was they both intersect. So they both intersect at the origin. Okay, that was the first thing. I said, look, it's on the same point. They're equally distanced from each other, and they're equally distanced from the x and y axes. So you can write that they are equally distanced from each other, and the x and y axes, remember it's plural, okay? So we talked about that, how it's symmetrical. Okay, one is 3 times, one is 1/3. Now, based on the patterns you see, predict what line G, whose rule is y is 4 times as much as x. And this is where I can always tell if people don't actually finish this page or follow the directions. They'll have 2 lines and they'll say, look at all my work, it's done. And I'm like, no, because there's more. But wait, there's more. And line H, whose rule is y is 1/4 as much as x, would look like, and then draw your prediction in the plane above. So how many lines are you supposed to have in this graph? Yeah, that's right, 4. So draw those lines. If y is 4 times as much, make a little xy table of values. If x is 1, and our rule is x times 4 equals y, then y would be 4. If x is 2, 2 times 4 is 8. Oops, sorry, you can't see. I can go a little bit further. If x is 3, 3 times 4 is, and if x is 4, which you don't actually need 4 points, you just having 3 is really lovely. 4 times 4 is 16, which is still on this graph. Now draw that. So you would have a 1, 4, oh so close, 2, 8, 6, 7, 8, 3, 12, 10, 11, 12, 4, 16. Okay, and so notice when you draw line G, if I had the 0, it would be 0. So guess where it crosses? At the origin. You're right. Okay, so if I go through all these points that I just made, I have another line going through the origin. And that's for line G. So what happens? It's slanting even higher on that upper part of the graph above where the 3 times number is, okay? So based on that prediction, then the line H, whose rule is y is 1/4 as much as x, where do you think that one's going to be? 1/4 as much. This one's 1/3 as much, so where will that 1/4 as much be? You're right. It'll be below or slightly lower than. So you can come up with your, this is for line G here. This is for line H here. X and Y, table of values. Now, when you have, you're dividing by or 1/4 as much, X times 1/4, 1/4 of, equals Y. Then you can also have X, oops, eraser, not the multiplication sign. X divided by 4 equals Y, just like you would end up with over here, X times 1. And so you want to be able to start out with a little bit bigger number. Don't put a 1, 2, 3 here, because we have to divide by 4 or multiply by 1/4 of, or take X and split it into 4 parts. So you want to be able to start with something that's a little bit bigger so that you can actually do the division. Let's take 4 for a starting number. If I have 4 divided by 4, I'm going to get 1. How about 8? And stick with multiples of 4 just to make your life easy. 8 divided by 4 is 2. How about 12? 12 divided by 4. How about 16? 16 divided by 4. Okay, so take the values for X that are a little bit bigger, because we're actually going zipping down X Street. So if I have 4 and 1, that's going to be here. If I have 8 and 2, it's here. 12 and 3, here's our 12, 1, 2, 3. 16 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how it's very, very tight in here, and then it gradually has more space. Click subscribe, come back again. We are nearing the end of this video. You're probably glad to have your homework almost done. Sorry, I just cannot get this thing to be flat. Flatten out. There we go. And that is for line H. And once you have all 4 of these lines drawn, your homework is finished, as long as you can prove that you understand how these were made. So try to explain that to your friends and your parents, and that should show that you really understand this lesson. We'll see you on the next video. I hope this is helpful. Bye for now.